at the age when most children are protected by their families. This boy was abandoned, left to starve, hunted by enemies, surrounded by death. No kingdom, no army, no future. Yet this same child would one day rule more land than any human in history. This is not a legend. This really happened. And by the end of this video, you will understand how an abandoned child became the ruler of the world. He was born around the year 1162 on the cold and unforgiving Mongolian steppe. His name was Temujin. Life on the steppe was harsh. Winters were brutal. Food was scarce. Survival depended on strength and loyalty. Temujin was born into a small nomadic clan, led by his father, a minor tribal chief. But that fragile sense of security did not last long. When Temujin was still a child, his father was poisoned by a rival tribe. Death came suddenly, and with it, betrayal. The tribe Temujin belonged to abandoned his family. His mother, brothers, and sisters were cast out, left alone in a vast and merciless land. They had no protection, no allies, and no food. This was not just exile. It was a death sentence. Temujin grew up hungry. He hunted small animals, gathered roots, and endured winters that killed the weak. He watched his family suffer. He learned that mercy did not exist on the steppe. As Temujin grew older, danger followed him everywhere. Rival clans hunted him. Former allies betrayed him. At one point, he was captured and enslaved, forced to wear a wooden collar designed to prevent escape. But Temujin escaped. Again and again, he escaped death. Each betrayal hardened him. Each victory taught him a lesson. He learned that loyalty was rare, and power was the only true protection. Slowly, Temujin began to gather followers, not because he was noble, not because he was rich, but because he was strong, fair, and fearless. Unlike other tribal leaders, Temujin did something revolutionary. He rewarded people based on loyalty and ability, not family bloodlines. This simple idea changed everything. Men followed him not out of tradition, but belief. Warriors who had been ignored or mistreated by powerful clans found purpose under Temujin. Tribe by tribe, his influence grew. Through alliances, warfare, and unbreakable discipline, Temujin united the scattered Mongol tribes, something no one had ever achieved before. In the year 1206, the leaders of the Mongol world gathered and declared him Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. A new force had been born. Genghis Khan did not build his empire like others. He did not rely on massive cities or heavy armor. He built the most efficient war machine the world had ever seen. The Mongol army was fast, disciplined, and terrifyingly precise. Every soldier was a skilled horseman and archer. They could ride for days without rest, live off the land, and strike before enemies even realized they were under attack. Genghis Khan used intelligence as a weapon. Spies moved ahead of his armies. Psychological warfare broke enemy morale. Cities that resisted were completely destroyed. Cities that surrendered were spared. Fear traveled faster than his soldiers. Kingdom after kingdom fell. Across China, Central Asia, and Persia, walls that had stood for centuries collapsed. Armies many times larger were crushed by speed and strategy. Yet Genghis Khan was not only a conqueror. Behind the destruction was a ruler with vision. He introduced laws to maintain order across his empire. Theft, betrayal, and corruption were punished harshly. Religious freedom was protected. Merchants were guarded, and trade routes were secured. Under Mongol rule, the Silk Road flourished. For the first time, East and West were connected under a single authority. Ideas, technologies, and cultures moved freely across continents. The world was becoming smaller. By the time Genghis Khan reached the height of his power, his empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the edges of Europe. It was the largest continuous land empire in human history. No king before him had ruled so much land. No army before him had moved so fast. No ruler before him had reshaped the world so completely. In 1227, Genghis Khan died. The details of his death were kept secret. His burial place remains unknown even today. But death did not end his empire. His sons and grandsons continued his conquests, ruling China, Persia, and vast parts of Europe. The Mongol Empire became the backbone of global trade and communication for generations.